And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all.
I know so much more about you, Alicia. I paid good money for the intel I got on you. And it was worth every.
Picture this: an artist who seems untouchable, a voice dripping with truth, and an aura so pure it feels almost unreal. Alicia Keys. For more than 20 years, she's been the industry's golden child, the piano prodigy, the Grammy sweetheart everyone praises.
Please welcome the incredibly special Alicia Keys.
Hi.
Can you describe how Jay-Z...
She's the face of empowerment, the queen of authenticity, the living proof of raw, soulful talent. We've all heard the fairy tale, the gifted kid from Hell's Kitchen, classically trained and discovered by the music legend Clive Davis himself. The flawless debut with songs in A minor, the powerhouse anthem Empire State of Mind, and of course, her bold, no-makeup movement. It's the kind of story that sounds like destiny itself. But let's be real, the music business doesn't run on destiny. It runs on control, on strategy, on perfectly timed moves and powerful people working behind the scenes. Because behind every polished story, there's another version, one full of pressure, influence, silence, and guidance that doesn't always feel natural. And no, this isn't a takedown piece. It's a deep dive into the patterns, the protection, the image control, the calm smiles that cover up chaos, the choice to stay peaceful even when silence costs more than words.
Well, she's a no-brainer. She has stunning beauty. She writes all her own songs. She's really the most gifted young female talent around.
Today, on Behind the Fame, we're pulling back that velvet curtain. We're exposing the hidden power players, the quiet hands that shaped, guided, and carefully shielded Alicia Keys from her very first note. This is the story of the system behind the soul, the machinery that builds legends. Alicia Keys stepped into the game young, gifted, and blazing with raw talent. She had the voice, the fire, the hunger. But in the cold mechanics of the music industry, raw talent is just the starting material. It needs molding, control, and vision. And that vision came in the form of one man, Clive Davis. At just 19, Alicia became one of the final artists personally signed by the legendary Clive himself. And Clive Davis isn't just a record executive, he is the record industry. He's a master at building stars who never fade, who sound timeless and shine flawless. He knows radio inside out, understands branding like science, and most importantly, he knows the power of shaping an artist before the world ever meets them.
I'm here to honor one of the greatest that's ever done it. And I'm also here because before anything else, I was a true fan of your music, Jay.
When Jay-Z teamed up with Alicia later, the world saw magic. But before that, Clive saw something else, potential that needed total refinement. He didn't just mentor her, he sculpted her. Her debut album, Songs in A minor, went through countless revisions, track reworks, and studio tweaks under his watchful eye. Vocals were reshaped, sounds reimagined, and many decisions, reportedly, weren't fully in her comfort zone. Clive wanted her to be soulful, but not too raw, emotional, yet still commercial, classical, but ready for radio. He believed in her talent, absolutely, but even more, he believed in his own power to craft her into the perfect, unstoppable star. This early control wasn't just advice, it was a full-on blueprint, and it worked like magic. The debut album turned into a masterpiece. Critics went wild, fans fell in love, and the industry crowned Alicia as music royalty. But that success marked the beginning of a pattern that would define her entire journey. Alicia became the artist who trusted the powerful hands that built her path, hands hardened by years of industry control. She wasn't the rebel type. She didn't go against her label, didn't challenge Clive publicly, didn't make noise or start drama. Instead, she thanked him, respected the system, and kept walking the path laid out for her. And that path didn't just lead to fame, it led her straight into the most influential and most dangerous rooms in the entire business. The whispers about Clive Davis's ways of working have been around for years, and they stretch way beyond Alicia's story. To really understand what kind of world she was stepping into, you've got to see how this architect shaped other stars before her. Stories of artists pushed to tour internationally while exhausted, voices fixed with auto-tune after being strained to the edge, careers polished for a comeback, no matter the personal cost. This was the dark side of the machine, the side that valued the check, the chart positions, and the perfect image over the actual well-being of the artist. And that's the world Alicia found herself in the very center of.
But I actually had to record it a couple times. The first time I recorded it in LA, and it just didn't work. I thought it worked. I thought it sounded good, but he called me and he was like, you think you're gonna be able to do them vocals again? And I was like,
As Alicia's star started to rise, she was swept straight into the beating heart of celebrity culture, the secret inner circles, the legendary after-parties, the private dinners hosted by powerhouses like Sean Diddy Combs. But these weren't just glamorous hangouts, they were arenas, places where careers were shaped, alliances were tested, and the unspoken rules of the industry were quietly enforced. Alicia showed up not just as a guest, but an asset. Every appearance mattered, every handshake carried weight. She was expected to be seen, and in those rooms, she began to see the game for what it really was.
I'm loving it. I'm feeling centered. I'm feeling powerful. I'm feeling clear.
And you're looking gorgeous. I mean, part of that is it's internal, but it's external too. You've just kind of started to move.
She learned the hierarchy, who pulled the strings, who whispered in whose ear, and who truly had the power. She discovered that music was only half the career. The rest was built on connections, loyalty, and above all, silence. People who've been inside those events describe them as places where morals got blurry, where integrity came with a price tag, and where keeping your soul clean was a constant battle. If you weren't careful, you didn't just lose focus, you could lose yourself. Alicia, by most accounts, played it smart. She stayed quiet, observant, never reckless. She studied the room, took notes in silence, and learned the cost of saying no in a world run by yes men. And then, in those same glittering circles, her path crossed with a force just as powerful, Jay-Z. He wasn't just a rapper anymore, he was a business titan, an empire in sneakers. Their meeting would spark the second major chapter of her career, the one that would redefine her image forever. The song, Empire State of Mind. Funny enough, Alicia wasn't even the first pick, but Jay-Z, he chose her. The official story? Jay-Z chose Alicia because of her uplifting, soulful tone, that pure voice that could light up a city. But the whispers floating through the industry's darker corners hinted at something deeper, a bond that had been forming in those exclusive, power-filled rooms long before the song was ever recorded. When Empire State of Mind dropped, it wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural explosion. The track turned Alicia into a global icon, the voice of New York City itself. Overnight, she went from being a respected artist to a worldwide monument of hope and power. Her fame shot through the roof, and with that fame came heavier expectations and new levels of control. Jay-Z became one of the biggest forces behind her rise into mainstream dominance, and that spotlight, it came with a price, a quiet one. The more visible she became, the more valuable her silence grew. Staying calm, staying polished, staying on brand became part of the deal. So, pause for a second. We've seen the architect, Clive Davis, and the powerful circles shaping her destiny. We've seen the blueprints, the connections, the carefully protected image. But what do you think? Is this just how the industry operates for every artist, or was there something uniquely crafted around Alicia's story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We actually read them all. And if you're just tuning in, this is Behind the Fame. Stay locked in because the real revelations are still ahead. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. With great fame always comes great scrutiny. And for Alicia Keys, her first real test in the spotlight hit hard. The turning point? Her relationship with Swizz Beatz. At the time, he was still married to Mashonda, and when Mashonda penned that fiery open letter to the world, the internet exploded. The public demanded answers, the press swarmed, and the court of public opinion was in full session. Everyone waited for Alicia's side of the truth, her version of the story. But what did they get? Absolute silence. No statement, no clarification, not even a whisper of defense. Her team reportedly believed that saying anything would only pour gasoline on an already blazing fire. So they chose silence, betting the story would burn itself out. And eventually, it did. But that silence, it stuck with her. It became part of her identity, calm, controlled, and unshakably quiet when chaos hit. That quietness made people question, was it inner peace or a smart PR move? Was she protecting her energy or protecting her brand? The same pattern showed up again with her no makeup movement. It was bold, powerful, and praised as a fearless stand for natural beauty. But then people started pointing out moments where she looked camera-ready, glowing skin, subtle touches that didn't scream bare-faced. Accusations of performative authenticity started floating around, and once again, Alicia didn't flinch. No posts, no interviews, no clapbacks. She just let the noise spin itself out while she stayed perfectly still, perfectly silent, and perfectly in control. Then came 2024, and the performance that set the internet on fire. Alicia Keys took the stage in Saudi Arabia. On social media, Alicia shared nothing but joy. Radiant smiles, gratitude, pride in her art. But when the backlash hit, she said nothing. No explanation, no reflection, no acknowledgement. The silence was deafening. But here's the thing, that silence wasn't random. It was strategic. Keeping quiet shields her from political backlash, keeps her brand spotless, and maintains that universal appeal that stretches across cultures and beliefs. It's silence as self-preservation. But that same quiet creates distance, a mystery. It makes you look at those calm, soulful eyes and wonder, what's really going on behind them? Because let's be real, Alicia has managed to avoid the kind of career-ending scandals that have swallowed other stars whole. The real question is why? Is she truly untouched by drama? Or has it all just been buried before anyone could see it? Some insiders whisper the second option, that plenty has happened, just never reached daylight. Quiet rumors of backstage tension, odd behavior at industry parties, and speculation about the real dynamics inside her marriage to Swizz Beatz have all circulated for years. But when those whispers surface, they're always met with a united, picture-perfect response. Smiles, love, and positivity on social media. Never a direct answer, never a detailed reply. And that's where the commentary hits hard. This isn't luck, it's protection. Alicia isn't just talented, she's shielded. Powerful management, deep industry ties, and allies who know exactly how to control a story. People like Clive Davis and Jay-Z, masters of narrative manipulation. They know how to bury a headline, how to silence a scandal, how to protect a multi-million-dollar brand. Alicia Keys isn't just an artist anymore. She's an institution, carefully maintained, quietly protected, and wrapped in the kind of silence that speaks volumes. She's not just a superstar, she's an asset, and that protection surrounding her, it's become a signature part of who she is in the public eye. The purity, the calm spirituality, the endless positivity, it's all real, but according to the video, it didn't just happen naturally. It was curated. Every move, every message, every appearance was carefully watched, molded, and shaped. And the circle she moved in, the exclusive parties, the elite gatherings, those same spaces are now being dragged into the light, exposed for their dark side in shocking detail. The recent testimonies coming out about Diddy's inner world paint a picture of excess, manipulation, and control that feels almost unreal. Now, to be clear, there's no claim that Alicia was part of any of that, but it does show just how dangerous and twisted the environments around her could be. In a world like that, staying silent wasn't just branding, it might have been survival. Seeing nothing, hearing nothing, saying nothing. That was how you stayed safe when power ruled the room and truth had a price. So when you trace Alicia's journey from that raw, gifted girl from Hell's Kitchen to the polished global monument she is now, one sound echoes through it all. Not the piano keys that made her famous, but the silence that defined her. It's haunting, almost poetic, the quiet that became her power. That silence was the clay in Clive Davis's hands, shaping her into a flawless masterpiece. It was the invisible passcode, the golden key that opened doors to the most exclusive, secretive corners of the hip-hop empire. It became her armor, gleaming and reflective, deflecting scandals and bouncing back only the image they designed. In an industry that feeds on drama, Alicia's silence wasn't an absence. It was her strategy, her shield, and maybe even her greatest performance of all. Her silence became her strongest presence, a fortress of calm that made her untouchable while so many others around her fell apart under the pressure. But that kind of silence doesn't come without a price. It creates a void, and nature hates a vacuum. That empty space gets filled with questions, with endless whispers, with mystery. It builds a wall between the artist we admire and the woman we may never truly know. The machine behind her worked flawlessly. It built one of the most respected and successful artists of an entire generation. Alicia Keys became the symbol of grace, power, and poise in an industry that thrives on chaos. But behind all the success, we're left with one haunting question that refuses to fade away. Is Alicia's legendary silence a reflection of deep inner peace? A soul so centered, so strong that she simply doesn't need to answer the noise? Or is it something far more calculated? Could it be the ultimate form of control, a system so precise, so powerful, that it's kept one of the most recognizable women on earth almost completely untouchable, her real truth forever hidden behind that serene smile? The music, the voice, the raw, undeniable talent, all of that is real, but the story we've been shown? That might just be the masterpiece, a carefully polished product designed to last forever. If you felt the chills, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Tell us what you think. Is Alicia's silence her strength or her greatest disguise? Stay tuned for more deep dives, because on Behind the Fame, the truth always has another layer waiting to be uncovered.